What's good, my peoples? It's your boy Solace, Jesus Christ. I want to do something for my peoples. Pop back in right quick and give y'all a little something. For those that follow me, I know y'all gonna eat this up. For those of y'all that don't follow me, this is just one more screw in your platform that's gonna collapse. Because everything you think, you're thinking wrong. See, we gotta start with the basics. We gotta go back to step one. You have to understand that everything physical came from the unphysical. There's an order that you must follow to get understanding. See, you have to understand that there is no death. There is only physical life and unphysical life. Now, the physical life is what we refer to as death. See, this life is you experiencing dying. That's all you're doing is experiencing dying from the moment that you're born. But the problem is y'all have life and death reversed. So the understanding of physical and unphysical is lost in that misunderstanding of what life and death is. Because all it truly is unphysical and physical. See, let me break it down to you, man. Anything you need to know, you can grasp from the earth. So if you need to understand physical and unphysical, now all you have to do is look within yourself and say, okay, I know that death cannot bring forth life because that does not add up. So to think that I die is absurd. See, you have to look at it like this. Anything that's physical came from the unphysical. So you figure before you were seen, you was in your mother's stomach. And before that, you was an embryo. And before that, you was sperm chasing an egg. And before that, you was just conscious energy of thought. So now once you understand that, then you can understand how everything physical came from the unphysical. Death cannot bring forth life. So if you're in this physical life living, you had to come from an unphysical life. You couldn't come from nothing. You know you didn't come from nothing. And death is basically nothing. So you have to understand. If you came from unphysical life, and I just clearly broke that down, and now you're physical living, then you should have some sort of an understanding of what we call death, how that is just you returning back to the unphysical. Now, you may not return back to the unphysical in the way you came into the physical, because it's all about ascending and growth. So, you age physically, which would be like ascending into your death, and you ascend spiritually. So you have to have an understanding. See, they'll say no one can explain death. Cheese can't explain death. Only person that can explain death is someone who died. But that's only because y'all don't understand life, death. Y'all don't understand which is which and what is what. So when I speak, it sounds foreign. It sounds like I have it wrong. And that's only because you think books and men have all no knowledge. Mind you, before men wrote books, that would mean that men didn't know anything. Oh, you would say, oh no, men told men things. Okay, so before men spoke a language, then you would basically tell me men didn't know anything. And that's absurd. That's like saying that animals don't know anything because they don't speak. Mind you, you see animals don't speak words, but they know. A lion that has never seen a lion from another part of the world can converse with that lion. A bird from South America can converse with a bird from America. But with men, we have language and words, and we think this is the almighty everything. And it's truly nothing. Now, one of my Facebook friends had, I put up for people to ask me questions. So he asked me, I guess one of his teachers told him, yo, ask this dude How do newborn babies know to suck their mother's nipples for food if no one ever told them and they're fresh? And this is where you have to understand unphysical and physical. Because if you understand you're coming from the unphysical and you were living, that's life. Then when you come into the physical, you're living in the physical at that moment off the unphysical life that you know. You're living off your senses. You're living off basically the natural way things work, where you're provided with the answers for all things you know. So how would a baby know as a newborn to suck mother's nipples? Because the baby has a nose and the baby can smell the milk. The baby does not have to be smart to know it's hungry. It doesn't have to be smart to know what its food smells like and where the smell is coming from. So this is how babies know to suck the nipple when they're born. We try to make everything so deep and so silly and goofy. Mind you, the deepest things is the simplest things. No one's truly deep because everyone's trying to be complex and just absurd with it. Mind you, retards know how to chew. A retarded person that's slobbing and blah blah blah, they know how to chew and eat their food. So let's stop trying to make things dumb and call it deep. Mind you, the simplicity is the deepness. Anything you know or heard or a man taught you or wrote in a book, it came from the earth. Before man taught you anything or told you anything, things was learnt from observing the earth. If you want to know how to build a home, you can just observe birds building a nest and get the idea that, oh, I can do that too in my level of being. The same with the time and the seasons. Before men came along and called it astrology and wrote it in books, men observed the heavens, men observed the earth. This is how they understood the different seasons, the same way you do. If no one told you what summer, winter, spring, fall is, the earth already told you that. So you already know it's 4 different seasons. You just wouldn't have named them. So we have to start getting back to the true teacher, which is earth. Because that's where all the true knowledge is at. You got to understand, enlightenment starts with your attitude. It starts with humility. This is how you can begin to see the beauty in the simplicity. This is how you can see the intelligence in things that you may view as lesser than yourself. But then you'll realize they're not lesser than you. They're birds, animals, these things are deeper than us. Deeper than us. They understand on a complete different level because they're dealing with the source, which is earth, which is what I keep telling y'all to deal with. Now, I seen a movie called Revenant. And in the movie, Leonardo DiCaprio seen cubs, bear cubs, playing in the woods or whatever. So he put his gun on them. Mind you, he forgot how to understand nature and observe things. So if you see cubs, you know the mother bear is somewhere because she's always going to protect them. He forgot this. He had his technology, which was his rifle. So he figured I could kill anything with this as long as I can see it first. He turned around, he seen the bear was on him, the bear fucked him up. Now, the bear didn't kill him, it just fucked him up. Then he decides to shoot the bear. So he shoots the bear in the face. As soon as he shoots the bear jumped on his ass and started fucking him up like it consciously knew what exactly to do. It rushed him, sliced his throat, flipped him over, pulled his arm out the socket, bit the other one. It was consciously breaking him down, making sure he could not defend himself. And I thought that was very deep. We have to understand animals are very intelligent and they're very more smarter than we are. At this point, we're the dumbest species on the earth because we follow what other people say as opposed to tapping into the earth. Now I know I have to reach the teachers. That's the only way this is going to truly work because the followers are going to follow. So until I reach the teachers, I won't truly reach most of the followers because they're just following the teacher. So I would have to reach the pastors and the high speakers for y'all to understand what I'm saying. And that's where it becomes tricky, because you have agendas and egos into place. And that makes it so much more difficult. Now, I don't want anybody to get confused when I said my last video like I was going to disappear off the face of the earth or something. I'm still here on Facebook. I'm still going to be posting comments. My thing is this. I don't want to force the knowledge on y'all. At the end of the day, y'all will get to a point where y'all realize that the books is just men's perspectives on things, and it has nothing to do with enlightenment and getting true understanding from the source, which is earth. And I can't keep ascending in my enlightenment if I'm down in the darkness, bringing y'all knowledge. Then you got guys that want to debate and argue. Then this brings out the ego and the pride, and these things block the ascension. I have to be in a humilified state to receive from the earth the knowledge that I need to basically get from the universe and anywhere. And this is how it works for everybody. You have to get yourself to a certain state of mind to see the beauty in things. It's like the devil. When the devil came to earth, he was just surrounded by darkness and nothingness. You lose your light. You lose your sense of purpose. You forget what you truly are and what's what. And it just becomes bad. But we have to understand, man, that all things are truly simple. It's just man is complex. I had somebody ask me, well, if what you're saying is right, then what we supposed to believe in? And I said, well, why you feel you need to believe in something? Is that because you was born and the people that was here before you believed in something, so now you feel you have to believe in something? Mind you, believe in birds. Believe in the sea. Believe in a rock. See, knowing that they are here in the physical, you know that they came from the unphysical, where all is one in its own glory. See, you have to understand, we are all a part or a piece of the great mighty all. That is the one who needs no name, because all names are his, because all things are him. So y'all have to get to a certain level of enlightenment. This is the only way I can reach y'all. Y'all still stuck into the books. Y'all waiting for the book to enlighten y'all or waken y'all up. And it's like, it doesn't work that way. You have to tap into what's around you. Observe things around you. It holds all the answers to anything that you want. The problem is y'all have truly not suffered enough, where relief didn't come. See, y'all are suffering and didn't get help. I've been to a point where I suffered, called for God, and no help came. And I realized I have to do this myself. That's when you begin to realize I am a piece of God. I have to move in accordance for this thing to work right, for this life to make sense. And then you understand this life can't make sense if everyone is going all which ways with no understanding. Because you can't live amongst crazy people and not go crazy. So this is why I bring the enlightenment. And I hope some of y'all grasp it. It's your boy Solace, Jesus Christ, Satan NASA.